Welcome to your NASM CPT Textbook Utilization video. In this video, we will go over the components of your textbook and some helpful textbook strategies. Before we go over the different chapters, let's take a look at some resources that can be helpful while using this textbook. We will start with the resource in the front of your book, the National Academy of Sports Medicine Code of Professional Conduct. This section will be beneficial for you to go over as it includes information that will help you as you become a personal trainer, as well as some questions on your CPT exam come from this section. Now for the resources found at the back of your textbook. Appendix A is an exercise library that will give you more exercises for each category. Appendix B gives sample program designs for the different phases in the OPT model. Appendix C is a 1 rep max conversion chart where you can find the weight a client lifted and line that up with the amount of reps they completed and find their estimated 1 rep max. Appendix D is a muscular system library. You will want to use this appendix to learn the isolated function or concentric action of the muscles. The glossary will give you definitions of certain terms used in the textbook. If you do not understand what a term means, you can look here for the definition. After that is the index. You can use the index to look up any topic that is located in your book. Let's say you want to find out what autogenic inhibition is. You can look it up in the index and it will tell you which page or pages autogenic inhibition is referenced in the book. Also, when you are reading this book, you will often see little numbers at the end of sentences and the middle of paragraphs. These numbers coincide with the references given at the end of that chapter. They are there to inform you on where we got our information and research. Now we will look at the chapters in your book, starting with Chapter 1. This chapter will give you a general overview of the material that will be expounded upon in later chapters. Chapter 2, Basic Exercise Science. This chapter is going to cover the nervous, skeletal, muscular, and endocrine systems. Chapter 3, the cardiorespiratory system, will cover the cardiovascular system and the respiratory system and how they work together. For Chapter 4, Exercise Metabolism and Bioenergetics, it will be important to learn the definitions and about ATP-PC, glycolysis, and the oxidative systems. Chapter 5, Human Movement Science, will cover biomechanics, planes of motion, and muscular actions. Chapter 6, Fitness Assessments, is a very important chapter to pay attention to. It will cover subjective and objective information that you need to gather about your clients. It will detail information about PAR-Q, heart rate, body composition assessments, cardiorespiratory assessments, as well as static posture, overhead squat, single leg squat, pushing and pulling assessments. These assessments will help you develop your program for each client. For Chapter 7, Flexibility Training Concepts, you will learn about muscle imbalances, muscle spindles, Golgi tendon organ, the flexibility continuum, and stretching techniques. This chapter also provides a comprehensive table, Table 7.6, which will cover overactive and underactive muscles for movement compensations found on assessments, as well as corrective strategies. This will be a very important table to know. Chapter 8, Cardiorespiratory Fitness Training, will cover the warm-up, fit factors, training zone, circuit training, and cool down. Chapters 9, 10, 11, and 12 will go over the training concepts for core, balance, plyometrics, and SAQ, which is speed, agility, and quickness. Chapter 13, Resistance Training Concepts, will cover the general adaptation syndrome, the principle of specificity, adaptations of resistance training systems, and exercises for stabilization, strength, and power. For Chapter 14, it is important to know that the first half of this chapter is the research about the acute variables of training that the OPT model is based on, and the last half of the chapter is the OPT model. Tables 14.7 through 14.11 are important tables to learn about the OPT model. You will want to make sure you pay attention to the resistance row, as this is the row that is used for the major part of your program design, the resistance training. Chapter 15 will cover different exercise modalities, and Chapter 16 will be important to learn about different training considerations and guidelines for chronic health conditions and different populations. Chapters 17 and 18 will go over proper guidelines for nutrition and supplementation. Finally, Chapter 19 and 20 will go over lifestyle modifications, communication skills, and developing a successful personal training business. If you ever have any questions about the material given in this textbook, feel free to contact Student Success at studentsuccess@nasm.org. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.